Hi, my name is Mark, and welcome to Mindful Me. Today, we're going to be talking about benzodiazepine withdrawal. Unfortunately, this classification of medicine is extremely addictive, and doctors and psychologists are unfortunately leaving people on this medication for years when that is not the correct usage for this medication. It's short-term use. Studies have shown that anywhere between over 3 weeks, your body could become physically dependent on this medication. So um, it becomes extremely hard when people want to stop taking the medication, and they're going to face the most extreme withdrawals that you could possibly think of. And this becomes an issue because the doctors are cutting people, they're tapering people off the medication, but they're not uh, doing a 5 to 10% cut. Normally it's around a 25% cut, which causes extreme withdrawals. And unfortunately, people can't stop taking this medicine because if they do, it's a possibility that they could have grand mal seizures and die. It's not something that could be taken lightly. In fact, benzodiazepine is one of two classifications of medications you could actually die from if you stop taking it. Your body becomes that dependent on it. And that's a huge issue in itself. There's also studies that have shown that benzodiazepine causes brain damage if you've been on it for a majority of years. And I believe they talk on gray matter in the brain for people who have been on this medication. It's unfortunate because doctors are negligent in the fact that they don't understand that leaving somebody on this medication can cause them so many issues once they try to come off of it. I mean, I don't think they're well versed in tapering off of this medication. You know, a lot of them cut at 0.25%, a quarter of a percent, a half a percent. They don't realize that that's way too big of a cut when it comes to the medication. I mean, if you look at the Ashton method, I believe it's proposed anywhere between 5 to 10%, like a month. And I think that's the more reasonable tapering percentage when it comes to a benzodiazepine. This is something that needs to be slowly tapered off of, and the chemical in your bloodstream needs to gradually decline. It's not something you could just stop taking. So just like to tell everyone out there who doesn't know, who's listening and trying to get some education on this stuff, you should not cold turkey this medicine at all. You should not cut this out of your regimen if you've been on it for a while. It could cause major withdrawal symptoms, grand mal seizures being the worst, and then possibly death due to that. So benzodiazepine is one of two medications you can die from withdrawing from it. So you need to make sure that you're cautious in how you withdraw from it. Okay, different types of benzos. They're called benzos, short for benzodiazepines. But benzos are Xanax, Klonopin, Valium, Ativan. Those are the major ones. Now, there's other ones as well, but those are the names that you probably hear most, okay? When you're withdrawing from these medications, the symptoms are absolutely horrifying. I mean, any symptom that you could possibly think of, you're probably going to have. And the reason is, it's because it deals with your nerves. It deals with your GABA receptors, and it deals with your brain and the feeling of calmness. So, of course, you're going to experience anxiety, panic attacks, probably depersonalization, probably depression. Physical symptoms are such as twitching, nerve. You'll feel like your nerves are burning everywhere in your body. Hyperventilation, hypoventilation, heart palpitations, eyesight issues, auditory issues. Light is sometimes too bright. People who are experiencing withdrawal, sometimes it's hard for them to go outside. Your stomach, which is considered your second brain, right? Bunch of nerves in there. You'll have trouble digesting food. You'll have diarrhea, you'll have constipation, it'll go back and forth. You'll have stomach cramps. Sometimes you'll feel like, your legs are cramping up. You'll feel your nerves twitching. There's so many things, weight loss, weight gain. There are so many symptoms when it comes to this that if you are withdrawing off of this medication and you're experiencing something you haven't experienced before, hands down, you are going through withdrawal. It's a withdrawal issue that you are going through. So for doctors to tell you it's not going to be that bad, or for them to cut you at, a 1/4% or even a half, I've seen them do it at 0.5%. I'm sorry, a half, like 50%. It's just completely in my mind, so irrational, ignorant, and it's the worst thing a doctor could do. But I see it over and over and over again. I mean, I counsel people who have these issues, who are experiencing benzo withdrawal, and each time I hear my doctor cut me cold turkey, or my doctor, wants me to just take half of the pill instead of the full pill, and I'm just like, do these individuals not know the ramifications of what they're doing to their patients? Like, I just, I'm not a doctor, and I know that is completely ignorant, stupid, to use a term that I don't normally use, and also completely irresponsible. I mean, this type of medication shouldn't be taken lightly, okay? There needs to be some sort of setup taper plan. Micro tapering or water filtration are two of the ones that I recommend to anybody. If anybody's looking to get off of this medication, you need to look into those two techniques. Because if you were to just get off of this medication, I mean, there's a possibility you could die. We don't want that, right? If you were to cut your pill, your medicine, too fast, you're going to experience the worst withdrawal sensations you've ever experienced before. I've had heroin addicts tell me that coming off of heroin is easier than coming off of a benzodiazepine, and I believe them. The hardest thing that I've ever had to go through in my life was coming off that classification of medication, Klonopin. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced, and I could say that today. So this subject shouldn't be taken lightly. It's something that I believe is overlooked. It's not considered, but when you're really considering coming off of this medication, you need to have a plan. And you need to generate that plan with your doctor, your psychologist, your counselor, your mentor, whoever it may be, your family. And you need to have that plan down, and you need to follow that plan once you have that plan in place. This medicine, it's easy to relapse and it's easy to go back because of the terrible feelings that it places in your body mentally, physically, and emotionally. It just attacks you trifecta on all three sides, and it's hard. It's not easy. I will say that much. So if you're considering this, understand that you're going to go through pain, and it is going to be a process. But once you're at the end of it, you are going to be a lot stronger and braver than you ever were. And you know what? Sometimes you got to go through it to get to it. And this is one of those situations. There's no easy way around this. A lot of people ask me, what are some things that I could do to alleviate benzodiazepine withdrawal? And I tell them the number one thing is you have to give time. I mean, I know you heard that time heals all wounds. In this case, it does. And it's going to take a very long time for you to heal and get back to normal. I mean, it really ranges depending on your dose and how long you've been on it, but a majority of the time, I've seen people start feeling better around the 6-month mark. Could be up to the year and a half mark, 3 years, all the way up to make 5 or 6 years. I mean, just dependent on the medication you were taking, how many times you were taking it, the milligram, and how long you've been taking it. So understand that everybody's different, and you shouldn't measure yourself against somebody else. Oh, it took them 5 years to get better. Yeah, but they were on 12 milligrams of Xanax a day. You're only on 1 milligram of Klonopin. Like, that's a big difference, right? So don't try to measure yourself up against other people who are taking the same medicine. Their dosage and the years on it could be completely different from you. So try not to focus too much on the pain, because you're going to go through pain. So try not to focus too much on it. But what you can do, let's get into what you could do to alleviate the process, to make your healing faster, and to overall have a better lifestyle where you're going through withdrawal. Number one thing, time is going to take its time. Understand that. You can't rush it. All right, you can make it a little faster, but you can't rush it. That's number one. All right, so that's an understanding you need to have before you even get into this thing. Second thing is your mental attitude needs to be very, very positive and very strong during this whole process. What you focus on is what you gravitate towards. If you're driving your car down the road and you see a hot mama or a hot daddy on the side of the road and you're looking left, guess where that car is going to go? That car is going to go left. And they're going to know you exist all right when you crash into them and you guys are exchanging insurance information, okay? They're going to get your number that way. See, because what you focus on is what you gravitate towards. So if you're looking that way, you're going to go that way. So if you're going to focus on how bad the withdrawal symptoms are, all the pain that you're going through, how long it's going to take, that's all you're going to see. You're going to gravitate towards that pain. You're going to gravitate towards that discouragement of how long it's taking. You're going to gravitate towards things that you don't want to gravitate towards. You have to have a positive mindset. You have to have a positive perspective during this whole thing. When you feel pain, that just means your body is trying to make itself better. So every time I felt pain, I'm like, okay, I'm healing. I'm healing because I'm feeling pain. So I'm getting better each day. Have a positive perspective on things. All right, that's number two. Positive mindset, positive perspective. Number three, I want you to really concentrate on creating a physically better you. Eating right. Make sure you eat clean, you eat healthy, okay? Get caffeine out of your diet. Do not drink caffeine during this process. It's going to be rough. Alcohol either. Stay away from alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant as well, okay, just like a benzo, and it has the same effect on your GABA. If you drink alcohol, you might go through another withdrawal while you're withdrawing because it plays on the same receptors. A lot of people don't know that. So definitely stay away from alcohol. Definitely stay away from caffeine. Make sure that you eat right, please. Eat clean, eat healthy, and eat the right amount. Don't overindulge, okay? Number four, become or stay an active person. You have to be active in this thing. You can't just sit around the house. You can't just mope around. Idle hands or the devil's playground or something like that. An idle mind is the devil's playground. But in the same sense, like, get your hands doing something. Make your mind do something. Because when it's blank and you ain't doing nothing, you're going to be focusing on things you shouldn't be focusing on. So make sure that you go to the gym. Make sure you exercise. I'm not saying lift 1,000-pound weights. I'm saying just be active. Walk on the treadmill. Lift 5-pound weights. Create a better and healthier you through this process. And you're going to see a better, healthier you, and you're going to feel better. Number five, supplements. A lot of people fight me on this, like, oh, supplements aren't a good thing to take during this thing. That's BS. I don't believe that one bit. I think supplements are a good thing to take. Take a multivitamin. Take herbal supplements that promote calming. Another thing that you can do is melatonin. Take melatonin before you go to bed, right? Drink some sleepy time tea. These are things that promote relaxation. Aromatherapy, lavender oil, or grab some lavender bath salt and soak in it. Like, there are things that you could do, supplements that you could take to make your body feel calm, to make you feel more at ease. The last thing, mental health. Number 6, mental health. I can't say it as much as I want to. But listen, you have to guard your mind. You have to protect your mental health. Meditation, mindfulness, mindset, these are all things you need to focus on. Meditate during the day. Play some relaxing music. Listen to some guided meditation. There are so many things that you could do to help calm your mind and calm your body. Another thing is read. Get some books on psychology. Get some books on, how to promote a better you. Get some books on things that you could read that are going to inspire you and give you strength. And that is the number one key to benzo withdrawal, is you need something that is going to guide your mind, because your mind, it starts with your head. It starts with your thoughts. So guide your mind first and foremost. And that's why I left it for the last thing, because I wanted you to remember this when I did end this recording here. But please guard your mind. I mean, you have to make yourself strong during this process. If you're not mentally strong during this process, I hate to break it to you, you are not going to make it. So it all starts with your head. It all starts with cultivating a better mental world and having a positive perspective and creating relaxation. And the bonus number 7, I would say, is learn some cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. Learn some breathing techniques, please. Some imagery techniques. And these are going to help you through your withdrawal. Listen, I appreciate you guys tuning in to Mindful Me. I just wanted to give a quick benzodiazepine talk. Just kind of to help those who are going through this issue. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. Send me a message. I am a lifestyle coach, and I'm a mentor, and I help people through this each and every day, and I'm glad to do it. I am glad to do it. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for listening, and like always,